Here are 7 ways you've probably been humbled as a pretty girl. The first and probably most common way is through appearance policing. Why do you even wear makeup? Why are you so dressed up? We're literally just going to the movies. Who are you trying to impress? The purpose of this humbling tactic is for the insecure person to plant self-doubt in the pretty girl's mind. Insecurity loves company, so by them saying these things, it can easily make the pretty girl feel like she's being a tryhard, which can ultimately lower her confidence. This is a way for them to make you feel cringy for putting an effort into your appearance. Don't take the bait though. They low-key wish they could present themselves the way you do, but they're way too scared of visibility for that. The next humbling tactic people love to throw at the pretty girl is questioning her substance. As an attractive woman, you might find that people ask you questions like, "You're pretty, but what else do you have to offer? Do you even have a personality? Pretty girls like you are a dime a dozen. What makes you stand out?" This is a tactic most commonly used to attack beautiful introverted women. Since introverts are mysterious by nature, adding a layer of beauty can cause insecure people to feel extremely threatened by them, but it also causes them to be extra curious about the pretty introvert's personality. Most insecure people, especially those who don't benefit from pretty privilege, feel the need to overcompensate in order to prove their worth in society. This is why they have to imply that the pretty girl's value is shallow and easily replaceable. It's literally a coping mechanism for them. The next humbling tactic losers use to try to make you feel bad about your beauty as a pretty girl is credit reassignment. This is when insecure people imply that the pretty privilege and social validation you receive should be credited to one particular thing about your appearance, completely stripping you of ownership of your own allure. Here are some phrases they may say to you. "You're only getting attention because you have a nice body. Guys only like you because you have long, loose curls. If it wasn't for your plastic surgery, you wouldn't even be all that." This makes your beauty seem circumstantial and completely dependent on one particular thing, which is their way of downplaying your attractiveness. They tend to minimize your good looks based on a particular thing that contributes to your pretty privilege. It's almost like it's impossible for them to just admit that you're beautiful, point blank period. Another way insecure people often try to humble beautiful women is through social exclusion. Quick story time. When I was a freshman in high school, there was a very pretty girl in my gym class. Keep in mind, this girl was an athlete. During one of our classes, our gym teacher made 2 of the female students basketball captains, so they were responsible for choosing people to be on their teams. Despite the fact that the pretty girl was an athlete and was one of the best players when it came to basketball, she was chosen last. In hindsight, I genuinely believe it was because she was an attractive girl who was also quiet, but got a lot of male attention. So, because she mostly kept to herself and wasn't a people pleaser or what most girls would consider a girl's girl, she was ostracized for it. Since insecure people already think you're better than them when you're a pretty girl, they have to rub it in your face that they have some sort of social power over you by kicking you out of the group. Number 5 on the list of ways you've probably been humbled as a pretty girl is through people withholding validation. When an insecure person sees a pretty girl, they assume that she probably gets compliments all the time. So for that reason, the last thing they want to do is stroke the pretty girl's ego. They'd much rather have her question her own appearance than to boost her self-esteem, since she doesn't need it. It's kind of their way of saying you're not as special as you think you are, without them having to say it out loud. Next on the list of humbling tactics used against beautiful women is fake concern. Some insecure people disguise their envy as care. They might say things like, "You're so pretty. You probably get harassed by men all the time. I'd hate to get all that attention." Hearing things like this can be very harmful to the pretty girl because it links her beauty to danger, which can cause her to have anxiety and fear of visibility. The goal for them is to have her associate her own beauty with risk, as opposed to privilege, freedom, and power. Insecure people can also express fake concern by saying things like, "You're not going to be pretty forever, girl. Beauty fades." Or, "I mean, you look good now, but wait till you get older. You better use your looks while you still have them." By mentioning fading looks or future struggles, insecure people plant anxiety about time and mortality in the pretty girl's mind. It's designed to knock her off of her pretty privilege pedestal by reminding her that she won't have it forever. And last but not least, the seventh way insecure people love humbling a pretty girl is through overemphasizing humility. People love the sight of a beautiful woman, hence why they call it pretty privilege. However, the moment a beautiful woman is a little too confident, insecure people feel like it's their duty to cut her down to size. When a person feels threatened by a pretty girl's beauty, these are a few things they might say. I mean, you look good, but don't let it get to your head. Or, you think you're all that? You need to humble yourself. Insecure people say these things to subtly communicate to the pretty girl that confidence in her looks will be socially punished. They're already threatened by the pretty girl's beauty alone, so her having confidence is just way too overwhelming for their fragile egos to handle. These are 7 humbling tactics that insecure people use in an attempt to shrink a beautiful woman's confidence, make her second guess her choices, and keep her from enjoying her beauty and self-expression. If you're a pretty girl who's experienced these humbling tactics, remind yourself that insecure people deeply covet yet fear the power and visibility that you possess. Sometimes, the people that put you highest on the pedestal are the ones that want to knock you off of it the hardest. Alright guys, that is all for today's video. If you guys want to keep up with more of my content, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Reina Safo. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!